Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and I am going to go through my CDL Championship bracket, put through the perfect bracket. We're going to get everything on point and, you know, win all the prize money. I think there's prize money for getting the bracket correct, but I'm sure it won't be fully right. Because this game is Vanguard, no one knows what's going to happen. Man, Paris could turn up and win magically. I don't know, this is fucking Vanguard. Welcome to Vanguard, everybody. Anyway, this is our CDL Championship brackets. Fucking cue the intro or some shit. So, Championship bracket prediction. We'll start with the top game. FaZe versus New York. Now, you know this one's going to be a bit tough because FaZe have been looking dominant all year, but New York has come out of nowhere. New York hit the ground running, Major 4 qualifiers. They only lost one game to LA Thieves, and I think LA Thieves, they've shown, the last 3 matches they've played, one being a grand final series, LA is the better team, but I still think that FaZe's dominance throughout the year will push them through this series, and I do expect New York to make a losers bracket run, but we will get to that when we get to it. So I'm going to predict this game to go 3. Let's go 1. 3-1. I can see Atlanta taking the hard point and the control at the very least. Let's give New York a gimme with the search and destroy. You know, the stats say otherwise, but I'm sure New York has some fight in them, and Paul X will pull them through the search and destroy. Yeah, just looking throughout the major, I don't know. I think New York can continue the run that they've been on. I think the Kismet, I think their team full stop is really good looking, the New York lineup, but I think FaZe and Celium will be dominant. I think we're going to see grand final Simp and Abeezy, and I think they're going to be frying the hardest we've seen all year, without a doubt. So I'm giving it to Atlanta 3-1. Moving on to the next game, we got London Royal Ravens versus the Seattle Surge. Now, I might be a bit biased here, but I think a lot of people will agree with me when I say Pred is one of the best players in the game right now, if not top 2 SMGs. Full stop. You can't. There's no debate to that. And the London Royal Ravens have proven, at least some of the players, to be onliners. Yeah, I think online to LAN is more of a mental thing, but I'm gonna have to take Seattle over London, and I think it's gonna be a hard 3-0. Nah, I think it's gonna be 3-1. I think Ravens take the control. If I give them anything, I definitely think they have the capacity to take it, and I mean, we'll see. We'll see this weekend. Don't have a lot of stock in London right now, though. All right, moving along to Optic versus Toronto. Now, Toronto's another one of those teams that's been so up and down this year. They've looked really good, but they won the kickoff, and then they've slid down a little bit. So just with the dominance of the team, the names on it, the name itself, and I just have to give this one to Optic. You can't take it away. Since Illy's been back, they've looked not to the form that they were at, but they're looking like a really, really solid squad again. And if they can really kick the woes that they've been having over the last couple of months with Prolude and Illy's hand, and hopefully they return to form, we could see the best out of them, and maybe they return to being the best team at this event. I just don't put a lot of faith in Toronto right now. I don't think they're the best team, but I mean, they could prove me wrong on the day. This is Champs, this is Vanguard, so anything can happen. That being said, though, I feel like Optic and Toronto match up extremely well against each other map count wise. So it could be a coin flip, but I'm going with Optic 3-1. A lot of 3-1s today. LA Thieves versus Boston. Now, LAT is my team. I was watching little Benji and Nassim, and it looks like the Thieves will be bullying out Boston just in the picks alone. With that being said, Boston is definitely my dark horse team for this event. I feel with the Vivid change, Vivid's a really good player. I think he's really underlooked in the league. Hopefully we can see Zinni step it up for the weekend. And especially TJ. If TJ kicks it up a notch, we could definitely see Boston making a run at this championship, but will they be able to beat the phases, the LATs, and the optics? Time will tell, but for right now, I'm going to give it 3-2 to LA. Even though they have one of the worst Map 5 records, I'm going to give it to LAT. They've just been looking, they're the Major 4 champions. They're looking deadly at the current time. If they can keep up the performances they had at Major 4, it's looking good for them. Plus, we get to see this fame, but we're not quite there yet. So, all right, moving on to Elimination Round 1. We've got New York Subliners versus Royal Ravens. As I said before, I don't have a lot of faith in the Royal Ravens, and I've got a lot of stock in New York winning. I've got a lot of stock in New York coming second in the last major. They were looking really hot, especially in the winners finals against LA, where they won 3-1. They're looking super hot. Kismet looks like he's on fire, and if they can put that performance up again, they're definitely going to take this one. I'm giving it 3. I'm going to give it 3-0. That might be spicy, but I'm going to give them a 3-0. I feel like, especially if they get knocked down or losers, they're going to be heating up. Krim will be absolutely in their ears, just giving it to them. So, I'm going 3-0. Alright, so we have Toronto versus the Breach, and yet again, I just don't have a lot of faith in Toronto at the moment. I think Breach might be the better team on paper. Ultra's shown to do it, and they have won an event this year, Kickoff Classic, real championship or not, they have proven they can win. I just really want to see this Boston team make a run. I think Vivid's a key player, and if TJ can step up, as I said before, we're going to see good things out of Boston. So I'm going to give it 3-2 to Boston. And we'll go back up to the winners. Alright, so winners round 2. But FaZe versus Seattle. As much as I love my boy Pred, I just don't see them beating FaZe. I really do think FaZe is going to be final. And whoever does step up to beat FaZe will have to be playing their absolute best. Everything is going to have to be clicking. And we have to, Seattle's going to have to make sure Mac is on point. Sib, he's a good player. Where you've got to verse the likes of Celium, Simp, and Abazy. Arcides, the thing about FaZe is Arcides doesn't need to do anything because everyone else is doing everything for him. So if he's dropping a 0.9, it's okay because Celium's dropping a 1.3 anyway. So if anyone wants to beat FaZe this weekend, they are going to have to be absolutely final. And I don't know if Pred will be able to get it done for the Surge. Nah, putting it all on Pred. I'm biased. I'm Australian. I'm biased, okay? But I'm giving it 3-2 to FaZe. I think this game is going to be real close. But we'll get to it. This is all bracket predictions, okay? Not everyone can win, unfortunately. Optic versus Thieves. This will be a banger of a match. This will be a huge match. LA with the LA crowd, and I'm biased too. Just going off Major 4 performances, I'm gonna give it to LA. I think if they can hit that again, they will beat Optic. But who knows how Optic's going to pull up to the Champs. We got Scump on Champs, man. He's on a different level, different wavelength completely. And he could fry. But Optic haven't shown it the last couple majors. I know Illy's back. I know they've been improving. Did they have enough time from Major 4 to the Champs to make enough changes to become a championship caliber team like we've seen in Major 1? I don't know. I don't have the answers to these questions. So, for right now, I'm going with my boy Kenny, Envoy, Draza, and Octane. And I'm going to go 3-1. Back to Elimination Round 2. We got Optic versus New York. This might be a spicy one. This is going to be huge. This is going to be a crowd roarer. Krim versus Scump. The storylines. Fuck, man. This is going to be... I hate doing this, okay? But I'm going to take New York over Optic. I'm going to put this one at 3-2 though. I do think Optic's going to be showing something, but I just think for some reason I think Krim is going to be making a massive run at this event. The Man Don't Lose finals, and this could go either way. I'm going to give the edge to New York, even though I think so far this might be my hot take, spicy pick, but I couldn't. All right, look, don't fry me for this, but I'm going to pick New York just as we're going to do something different. I could go with Optic. They're probably the favorites compared to New York. I'm not sure at the current time. New York have been looking on fire, so we're going with New York. Seattle versus Boston. I am gonna. Oh, this one's a hard one too. Like, it all depends on TJ and Mac. It all depends on those two players. I think we've seen more out of Mac this year than we have out of TJ. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it 3-1 to Seattle. To say Seattle takes the hard point, the Surge and the hard point. Give Boston the control. It could go either way. Most of these games, this competition is so tight and tense. It's such a 50-50 coin flip right now. But I'm going to give it to the Australian Devil. I'm going to give it to Pred. He's a demon. Yeah, Pred's my guy. All right, move on. The championship round 3. We got New York versus Seattle. We'll go back up after this, okay? I don't know, man. This is real tough. This one's really tough. This is, New York's been looking really hot. I think Seattle wants to get back to a point where they were. We've seen recently what New York can do. We've seen already what Surge can do. And I think, man, if Paco, Kismet, Paul X, Crimsix are all frying like they were at Major 4, I reckon they could take Seattle. I really do. But for some reason, I am going to take, I think it's my Australian bias. I'm going to take Seattle over New York. I'll go 3-2. We'll give it to them 3-2. I reckon Seattle can get it done in game 5. We'll see how it goes. And FaZe versus LA FaZe. Okay, so got the stats pulled up. Let me pull the stats back up. Alright, so by my expert calculations, super wizard CDL guy I am. Put me on the desk, somebody. Atlanta has versus LA Thieves 3 times the last major, and I think that's the closest comparison we can have. And the last 3 matches they've played, Atlanta has won once, LAT won twice, Atlanta won 3-2 the first time, and the second and third occasion, LA beat them by 3-1 both times. And in my humble opinion, FaZe is the most consistent team of all year, the whole time this year. Absolutely no doubt about it, they are the most consistent team in the game right now. But I think the LA Thieves are the best team in the game right now. And if they can perform like they did last major, if Kenny keeps popping off like that, if they keep those vibes strong, this is going to be another 3-1 to the LA Thieves. Kenny needs to have a big one here. Kenny really needs to have a big one. I think this could be their year, finally. I think this could be their year. Atlanta versus Surge. Man, for some reason I think Seattle's going through here, but I don't think they're going to be able to get through FaZe. FaZe threw them last time in Major 4. I think Surge is going to show something, but I think this is the point where they go. The Celium crew will be too strong. But I'm giving this 3-0 to Atlanta. I think they're going to be hot. I think they're going to make it to finals. So I think it's going to be a full 3-0 right here. We got the grand finals, COD Champs, LA Thieves versus Atlanta FaZe. I think LA might just have the stronger map pool, maybe, if they can work, because they just won the majors, so they're going to have to do some work to expand their map pool. I know there's not too many maps here, but those maps they are bad at, they're going to have to become good at, because everybody is going to be watching their VOD, especially FaZe. We know how many coaches they've got. We know they are one of the best teams in the game, but I think this is going to be a close final. But so let's say LA 1, 2, 3, they win 3 rounds in a row. Say FaZe win, I don't know, let's say a Tuscan. I think LA is not the greatest at Tuscan. Maybe they steal a Search. They don't get the control. Let's give them another one, okay? Say FaZe hit one more. I think LA will take in another hard one of Search after that. So I'm going to go 5-3. It seems like most of them have been 5-3, 5-2 this year. So I think I'm pretty safe leaving it there. LA Thieves to win 5-3 over Atlanta FaZe. And they're your CDL champs. I think LA Thieves have shown a lot of growth throughout this year, and it'd be really cool to see them win. As much as it would be good to see FaZe win, they have been real competitive this year, and they did probably deserve the win. But you have to earn the win. You can't just get it given to you. So for me, I think the champion, the MVP of the year should probably be Celium. I want to pick Dashy, but I am going to go Celium. He has been so consistent all year. Splashy has been consistent, but not as consistent as Celium. It's a toss-up between the two, but I'm going to stick with Celium. My rookie of the year is going to be Pred. Obviously, that he's going to be one of the greats in the future, I think. And I think if the MVP, if the LA Thieves win, the MVP will be, I think the key thing is Kenny. Like I said before, I was talking about Envoy. I think If the LA Thieves win, it will be because of Kenny and him stepping up to the plate. So I'm going to go with Kenny as the Champs MVP. Yeah, and I think this has been a good list. Pretty good list. Let's see. We'll do a recap to see how much I fucked up. I've highlighted these. Sweet. So LA over New York. Seattle over London into the final here. Then we got FaZe going over Seattle to knock them down to the bottom. Optic Texas versus Toronto. We got Optic advancing. LA Thieves versus Boston. LA advancing. And then LA to take out Optic to send them down. And then we got New York versus London, hot 3-0. And then New York going to beat Optic as well. They've got the Crim 6 Scump rivalry going. Boston versus Toronto. Boston takes that. Seattle goes over Boston. Probably a hot take. As well as the Optic take. For our elimination round 3, we got New York. We got Seattle taking out New York. Another hot take. I don't think anyone's going to have that take. LA taking out FaZe. FaZe dropping down. 3-0ing Seattle. Getting them straight the fuck out of here. We're getting straight into Champs. And Champs, I got Los Angeles Thieves taking out Atlanta FaZe 5-3. Yeah, I think there's some upsets in here. A couple here and there. Definitely with the Optic pick. I think even with the Seattle going over New York, I think that's a bit of a underdog pick, and I think it's a fun bracket. That's my picks for the CDL Champs. Alright, so this is a little bonus track for y'all. We're going to do our fantasy picks for the weekend too. I was just going to do the bracket, and then I was like, fuck it, we got the bracket done. I may as well do fantasy pick'ems as well. So, on Breaking Point, shout out to Breaking Point, shout out to Tactical Rab, what a legend. Alright, so, and here's our team for Champs. I don't think this is going to be the best lineup, but we got a lot of variety there. A lot of other sides of the bracket, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully one or two of these plays makes a good run through Champs and puts up some good stats, and we can get some good points for our fantasy. Anyway, I think this has been the video. Thanks for listening about my video about COD Champs, you know. Pretending that I know a lot about CDL when I just casually watch and pretend to be good in ranked. So, thanks for listening to me. I hope you all had a good one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I am out of here. Peace.